Murder by Expert. The Mutual Broadcasting System presents Murder by Expert, with your host and narrator, Mr. John Dixon Carr, world-famous mystery novelist whose books have been translated into 17 languages and have sold over 10 million copies, and author of the recently published detective novel, Below Suspicion.
Good evening. This is John Dixon Carr. Each week at this time, Murder by Expert brings you a story of crime and mystery which has been chosen for your approval by one of the world's leading detective writers. Tonight, our guest expert is the noted mystery writer Max Ehrlich. From the thousands of thrillers he has read and enjoyed, Mr. Ehrlich has selected an adventure of that fast-moving, humorous young detective couple, Susan and Johnny Duke, written by Andrew Phillips. And now we present Anne Shepard and Larry Haynes in The Unseeing Witness.
The name's Duke. Johnny Duke. You know, it's a funny thing. In the movies and on the radio, private eyes are always big, handsome, two-fisted guys working day and night on sensational cases, collecting heavy fees and beautiful blondes. Me? I'm 5'7", and if I don't land the first punch, I usually end up on the floor. The cases I get? Well, they're not sensational, and they barely pay expenses. And there's never a beautiful blonde involved. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Take that morning last week. I was sitting right here in my office when the door opened, and a dame came in. Yeah, she was a blonde, all right, and beautiful. She stood there for a moment, and we just stared at each other. She crossed to my desk and then slowly and deliberately kissed me. Then she got down to business.
Johnny, it's the first of the month.
Yeah, I know.
We've got $64.23 in the bank.
I know, Duchess.
Johnny, you'll never guess who I bumped into yesterday. The last person in the world I ever expected.
Inspector Ross. Where'd you bump into him, baby? In his office?
What a suspicious nature you have. Johnny, I'm sure he'd give you back your job on the force.
No, Susan.
Yeah, can't blame a girl for trying.
I know things are tough, Duchess, but I'll...
Well, Kay, what are you doing here? Susan, Johnny, you've got to help me.
Now, what's wrong, Kay?
They've arrested Bill. Bill?
What for?
Murder. Oh, Susan, I've been going crazy. Bill didn't come home all night. They called me from the police station a half hour ago, but they wouldn't let me talk to them.
All right, wait a minute, Kay. Now, one thing at a time. Who's been murdered?
Duval.
Tracy Duval? The mug who owns the Pelican Club?
That's right.
Well, why do they think Bill did?
I don't know. When he left the house last night, he said he was going to the Pelican Club.
Why?
Well, Duval asked Bill to handle a lawsuit for him last month.
Oh. Didn't he know Duval was a mobster?
Yes, and that's why I wanted him to get out of it.
Well, didn't he?
But that's why he went there last night. But he didn't come back. Oh, Johnny, what'll I do? What'll I do?
All right. Now get hold of yourself, kid. It's one thing to bring a murder charge and another to make it stick. Now, you just sit tight. I want to get to the Pelican Club before the cops and Inspector Ross, in particular, mess up the evidence.
No, Johnny, this is one case that's open and shut.
That's what you say about all of them, Inspector.
Yeah, well, this time I can prove it.
Well, look, would you mind letting the Duchess and me look over the room where Duval was killed?
Not at all. Right through this doorway. Mrs. Duke doesn't mind corpses. Doc isn't through his examination yet.
Oh, no. I'm used to them.
Bill Carlson's a friend of mine, Inspector. I can't believe he's a murderer.
You don't have to take my word for it, Johnny. Hey, Kelly, bring Benedict in. Benedict was Duval's manager. He'll tell you.
Did you want to see me, Inspector?
Yes, Benedict. This is Johnny Duke. Tell him what you told me a little while ago.
Well, fellow Carlson came into the club last night a little before midnight. He had an appointment with Duval. I showed him in here, and I left the club. This morning, when I knocked on the door, it was unlocked by Carlson. Duval was lying on the floor, dead.
Get that, Johnny? Carlson was here all night. Doc, you finished looking at the body?
Yes. Preliminary examination shows that death occurred between 4 and 6 in the morning. It was caused by suffocation. You mean Duval was strangled, Doctor? No, there are no bruises on the throat. Apparently he was smothered. An autopsy will give us the answer. I'll have it for you in 24 hours or so, Inspector. I'm a little busy.
That's all right, Doc. No rush.
Couldn't someone else have come into the office during the night and smothered Duval?
Nope, that's impossible. Johnny, take a look at the lock on this door. It can't be opened from the hall, right?
Yeah, that's right. What's in the next room?
That was Duval's bedroom. There's one window in here and one in there. Neither of them's been opened. A dust test proves that. Now, you tell me how anyone could have gotten in here last night.
Go on, darling. Tell him.
I'm afraid I can't.
Of course you can't.
May I go now, Inspector? Just a minute, Benedict. These empty champagne bottles in the wine buckets and these 2 glasses, when were they served?
Oh, yeah, just before I left last night, I had one of our men bring them up.
Then you weren't the last man to see Duval last night?
Well, not exactly.
Well, you've got a short memory, far too short. You get the man who served it.
I assure you, he doesn't know anything about it.
Go ahead, do as Mr. Duke says.
All right. Just a moment.
Johnny, don't you ever get tired asking questions.
No, of course not. Why, if Johnny hadn't asked me the way to Times Square, which he knew all the time, we'd never have met.
Here's the man that served the champagne last night.
Well, if it isn't Melvin.
Johnny Duke. Johnny!
Well, how are you, Melvin? Say, where have you been since I last saw you?
Well, I found myself up against the gun for trying to fit the mitten through a 5 yards of Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
What did he say, dear?
Oh, he says he just served 5 years at the state prison in Trenton.
Oh.
Oh, Melvin, this is my wife, Susan. Duchess, this is Melvin Maloney, better known as Melvin the Muscle.
Hey, she's quite a twist and a twirl.
Oh, Johnny, why don't you ever say things like that to me?
Melvin, I understand you were the one who served this champagne last night.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, tell me, what happened?
Nothing. Mr. Benedict hands it to me. I takes and knocks on the door. The valve opens up, grabs the bottle of sparkle, and shuts the door. I hear him lock it.
What else do you know?
Well, that's all, Johnny, honest. I wouldn't hold out on you.
Well, Johnny, what do you say now?
Well, I'm not going to say anything, Inspector, until I hear Carlson's story. Hello, Bill.
Johnny. Susan, how did you know?
Kate told us. Where is she? Is she all right?
She was nearly out of her mind when she came to the office this morning.
She must have been, poor kid. They wouldn't let me talk to her. Said they'd call her.
Bill, did you kill Duval?
I never wanted to kill anybody in my life.
Did you kill him, Bill?
I don't know.
All right, I'm here to help you if I can. Now, tell me what happened.
Well, I was working on a lawsuit for Duval.
Yeah, I know about that. What happened when you went to the Pelican last night?
Well, Duval was waiting for me in his office. I told him I was going to quit. Handed him the papers I'd been working on and gave him my bill.
Then what happened?
Well, he tried to talk me into staying on. While we were arguing, someone knocked on the door and brought in a couple of buckets of champagne. We started to drink, and Duval got mean.
Yeah.
Finally, he took a poke at me. He missed. So I kept him on the chin and I knocked him out.
Well, what happened next?
I don't remember anymore. I must have gone into the next room and passed out.
And no one came in during the night?
I don't know. I told you I passed out.
Well, when did you come to?
This morning. Someone knocked on the office door. I got up and unlocked it.
The key was on the inside?
Yes. When I opened the door, Benedict was standing there, and Duval was sprawled on the floor, dead.
Is that all you can tell me, Bill?
That's all I know. How do you think it looks, Johnny?
Well, the trouble is you haven't told me anything that breaks down the case against you. Now, we'll find a way. So long, Bill.
So long, Johnny. Thank you.
Goodbye, Bill. Well, darling, what are you going to do? To help him out, I mean.
I don't know, Duchess. The best thing to do is to go home and sleep over it. If Bill didn't do it, then it's the perfect murder. wake up to find my wife choking.
I was working on a theory. Well, it doesn't work.
Well, I'm grateful for that. Now go to sleep.
I can't sleep. I keep thinking of poor Kay and Bill. I'm glad I asked her to stay with us.
Yeah, so am I. Now, Duchess, it's after 2.
Huh. I can remember when you used to do everything under the moon to keep me out until 2 o'clock. Engine trouble, out of gas, flat tires, emotion of the battery. Darling, you never did explain to me what emotion of the battery is.
Oh, there ain't no such animal, baby.
Then you just made it up to keep me out.
Did I know what would come of it? Now go to sleep, please, Duchess.
I can't.
Oh, great.
You cannot do it.
All right. Stay where you are, Duchess. I'll get it. All right, take it easy. Can't you see I'm coming?
Johnny, let me in.
Melvin, why are you shaking so? Come on into the little room.
Thanks. Hello, Mr. Duke. I'm sorry to question you.
Is that a new dance you're doing, Melvin?
My knife. You're on the loose.
All right. Now stand still for just a second, Melvin.
Johnny, who was it for doing?
Okay, this is Melvin. Melvin, this is Kate.
I'm happy to meet you.
Yes, you.
All right, now, what happened?
Johnny, I'm as good as up to handle.
What?
Yeah, on the even. 3 messes ride me out to the meadows, giving me the chill all the way. The cross was on me, and they was doing the stalk.
Johnny, what's he saying?
I see 3...
Oh, 3 men took Melvin for a ride, but he managed to escape.
Goodness. He has nice friends.
I mean, it's the truth.
Melvin, who's putting the finger on you?
The big payoff.
Oh, now, wait a minute. How could the Val put you on the spot when he's dead?
You're guffing it wrong. The vow's the dress, and the payoff is Benedict.
Benedict?
Johnny.
Melvin said the Val was only the front for the Pelican outfit. The real brain is Benedict.
Well, maybe Benedict had something to do with Duval's murder.
It's an angle case. Now, why would Benedict want you out of the way, Melvin?
From nothing. I'm getting the toss around. A short kind like me don't cut the score with him. I'm cracking a straight line to clock around, so why the planting, I ask?
Darling, translation.
Melvin said he can't understand why Benedict wants him out of the way. He hasn't talked.
Well, even if he did, who could understand him?
Melvin, are you sure you've told Papa everything?
Now, would I slip a fly G like you to Rowdy at a time like this?
Yeah. Melvin, this morning Benedict forgot all about the champagne in the office. Then he didn't want to tell me who brought it there. Now, why?
I don't know. You can put me to bed with a shovel if I'm holding.
Yeah, I know, Melvin. Well, maybe you're being taken for a ride has a connection with the murder.
Johnny, maybe Melvin knows something and he doesn't realize it. Of course. And Benedict is scared he might wake up to it, so he sends him for a ride.
Yeah, that might be it. I tell you what, Melvin, you're staying here until you remember what Benedict doesn't want known.
Well, I already told you everything I know, honest.
Melvin, what you need is to be psychoanalyzed.
Huh?
And I'm just the one to do it. Let me question him, Johnny.
Well, nothing else seems to work. What do you say, Melvin?
Anything you say, Johnny. You and the missus is back to back, especially seeing I got the small power.
The small part?
He knows he's in trouble, baby, and it might be catching.
Oh. I hope your insurance policies are in order, dear. Please, Melvin, think hard. It means so much.
I'm practically blowing a fuse.
He says that's red when he thinks, but he doesn't say a thing that's of any value. We've been questioning you for 2 hours now, Melvin, and all we get is the same story. I run the bottle of sparkle to the office, knocked on the door. Duval opens, grabs, shuts, locks. Oh!
Yeah, well, that's what I've been telling you. Johnny, can't you make these twists take that lamp out of my eye? That's blinding me. You think I was down at headquarters?
You're only trying to make you feel at home.
Yeah, besides, Melvin, I thought you said you were once under police grilling for 36 hours.
I was, only it wasn't like these twists. They was nice to me.
That can be just as nice as the police department. Here, you can have another eclair.
Gee, thanks.
Johnny, come away from the window and help us.
I set a very nice view from here. One of Benedict's men watching our putt.
Oh, I knew it. I'm being mouthed. Let me see him. Oh.
Who is he, Melvin?
Oh, it's the Ripper. I'm as good as up to hand.
Now, Melvin, you're safe.
Johnny, you don't have to count on Benedict. He knows more than old Heb's Joe.
Well, Johnny is pretty bright, too. Why won't you get as far as the $4 cent?
As the saying goes, I'm living on time forage.
No.
Yeah,
Why don't you make yourself some? Here's a chair.
oh, thanks. Thanks. Oh, hey, Johnny, she's putting the lights in the eyes again.
Melvin, you start singing for Kay. I've got to do some shopping for dinner.
Well, get some eclairs, will you? Well, like I was saying, I run the bottle of sparkle to the office, knocks on the door, Val grabs...
Melvin, are you sure there isn't something you haven't told us?
Well, I got a girl in Jersey City.
Johnny, come over to the window. The men watching the apartment, they're gone.
There you are, that's
You think Benedict has given up trying to get Melvin?
Not Benedict. That bloodhound never gives up.
Oh, that must be Susan. How answer?
I wonder why Benedict called his gorillas off.
Oh,
Good evening. Is Mr. Duke in?
right.
Johnny, it's him. He's come to plant me.
Hello, Benedict. Come on in.
Evening, Mr. Duke. How are you, Melvin?
Well, I'm all right.
Relax, Melvin. I came up a little sore.
What do you want?
I thought we might possibly straighten out this little misunderstanding between us. Token of my good faith, I've withdrawn the men who were watching your apartment.
Am I supposed to be grateful?
Come now, Mr. Duke. Isn't the attitude to take one? I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. Can't we forget what's happened?
You mean that ride you gave Melvin?
I'm sorry about that. Some of my boys are a little overzealous in the performance of their duties. You know I wouldn't hurt you, don't you, Melvin?
You'd give a week's take to see me salted down.
I assure you, Melvin, when I learned what the boys had tried to do to you, I was shocked. I only wanted to make amends.
Yeah, with a shovel.
Why did the boys take Melvin on a ride?
They caught him taking money that didn't belong to him. Of course, what they wanted to do was far too drastic.
I never swilled the pill.
You couldn't want Melvin so badly because he holds the keys to Val's murder. Because you know he can send you to the chair.
You're wrong. I have my own personal reasons for wanting him. You gonna give him up?
No.
Duke, some of my boys were anxious to tear this place apart. That's not the way I work. You're going to hand Melvin over peacefully.
He'll have a long wait.
You'll wait just as long before you see your wife.
My wife?
Yeah. Imagine my surprise when I bumped into her this evening. Only a few blocks from here. I persuaded her to become my house guest. For the time being.
You dirty louse. If you lay a hand...
Easy, Johnny. See, if I'm not back at the Pelican Club in half an hour, the boys have their instructions.
You can't get away with it, Benedict.
I don't scare easy, Duke. Give you 24 hours. Think it over. When I get Melvin, you get your wife back.
Johnny, what are we going to do? Hours have been walking the floor, not saying a word.
Melvin, you know Benedict. Where's he likely to hide to?
Well, he's got a hideout in Westchester. Sure, Johnny, that's it.
No. Too obvious.
Yeah, but nobody knows about it, Johnny.
Yeah, he's probably counting on my visiting there. If I know Benedict, he'd probably try to outsmart me by keeping her right at the Pelican Club.
Yeah, he is full of tricks.
Yeah. Melvin, I want you to draw me a layout of the Pelican. I'm paying a visit to it.
Oh, now, listen, Johnny, you got to take me with you. That place is big and full of rippers, and it's got more ins and outs than I could tell you about.
All right, you can come with me.
And I'm going to.
No. Okay, there'll probably be trouble and plenty of it.
Please, don't make me stay here, then. I go crazy. Please, Johnny, please.
All right. Come on. You can keep the motor running for 6 minutes. Let's go.
There's the back door, Johnny.
I suppose Benedict has the place wired.
Yeah, you figured.
All right, come on. Now, the first trick is to silence the alarm.
You got the keys?
Yeah. You keep a sharp lookout. Yeah. Probably got a couple of the boys on the outside.
I'm watching, Johnny. I'm watching. You getting it?
Yeah. A little more. Johnny, it's one of the boys. Let's let him fall. I'll take him. Hey, what is it?
You sure can powder them, Johnny.
Yeah, sure. I went to Miss Perkins finishing school. Now tie him up while I finish breaking him around.
I'll take care of him like he was a pill. He's one of the rippers that took me on the picnic.
Yeah, no, okay. Gotta get the lock on this door.
This mess is wrapped up for the night. It's a tough lock, ain't it? You know, when I drove 5 yards to Sleepy Hollow, I had a bunkie that could open any lock there was. Except, of course, the one on the cell door. Cool, I got it. Good.
Where do I put my flashlight on? This is the main kitchen, and that door leads to the hallway, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
Melvin, I wish you'd make your teeth stop chattering.
I'll put them in the pocket.
All right. Come on, we're going into the hallway.
Yeah.
What was that?
I kicked something. Let's see what it was.
Oh, a wine bucket.
Yeah, but I didn't spill nothing. It was empty. Yeah, empty.
That's funny. You know, come to think of it, the ones in Duval's office were empty, too.
I don't follow you, Jeff.
Melvin, when we were in Duval's office with the inspector, I remember distinctly those wine buckets being dry.
So what?
Wasn't there ice in the buckets when you served the champagne?
Sure, was.
What happened to the water?
What water?
Look, Melvin, when ice melts, there's always water. See here, yeah. Yet the morning the murder was discovered, those 2 buckets were dry.
Oh, it was dry. It was dry ice.
Now, don't be funny.
No, on the level.
Dry ice. Why dry ice?
Well, when Benedict gives me the bucket with the champagne in it, he says we ain't got no regular ice.
Oh. Yeah. Dry ice would just evaporate, leaving no trace behind. Yeah? Now, that would account for the bucket being empty and dry. Melvin, I've got the answer.
Yeah? Well, tell it to me. But slow.
Yeah, later. First, we've got to find the duchess. Come on. There's the door to the hallway. Now, walk right in.
Practically floating.
And look, some lights on under that door further down the hall.
That's where the mob hangs out.
Let's have a look.
They're in there, all right. Rudy, what those pants are toughest grippers you ever laid a peep on.
Transfer's open. I'll get in a chair, Melvin, so I can take a look.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll go.
Yeah, it's a thing. Okay, I'll see you and raise the door button. What do you say to that, Butch?
Don't think you can scare me out, Bugsy. I'll see you.
Full house. Full of tie.
Ha, yourself. Look at him and weep.
First floor. And in space. How do you like that?
You're human, I tell you.
Bugsy, dear, you're $5 shy.
Who said?
I said.
Can't say that. Polite, right? Here.
That's better. And, Mike, you can return that ace you just slipped into your pocket.
You accusing me of cheating?
Listen, you big gorilla. If you don't return that card, I'll bust you one right in the kicker.
I hate to be intimidated.
I'm going to count these cards, and if I find only 51, Mike, you'll be sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, what do you know? Here's an ace on the floor.
Now, isn't that strange? And right by your chair, too. It's my deal, and I suggest you boys dig up a little more coin of the realm.
Like the
Hey, what goes? It sounds from here like a card game, Johnny.
She's in there, all right. And when I think of the way she made me promise never to play poker.
Hey, listen, Johnny, listen. Them messes are easy with the leg. How are you going to spring it?
Well, I'm going to yell for her to hit the floor, then I'll shoot out the lights. While those gorillas are throwing it around, I'll pull her out.
Johnny, someone's coming this way. If he lets out a peep, it's up the handle for her.
All right, I'm going to meet him.
Is that you, Mike? Oh, why aren't there some lights on? Oh, let go, I guess.
Did you get him, Johnny?
Yeah, it's Benedict. He's out cold. Swing him over your shoulder, Melvin, and take him out to the car. I'll get the
seconds, Johnny. It's too risky alone.
Come on, now. Here's Benedict. Go ahead, do it.
Okay. But look out for them guys when they turn on the heat.
Yeah, don't worry. I will.
Well, what do you say?
I'll stay with us, too. Here's the thing. No Daniel's helping me out. I'm playing along.
I wish the boss would show up before she cleans me out.
I'll see you boys. And raise your sawbuck.
Those are off the floor.
Somebody shut out the lights! What you, Johnny, do? I think I got it. Hold on.
I got you. Come on.
I don't want to go.
Come on before I ring you next.
Who's in the door? I got it. Oh, it's me. I got him by the leg. Oh, all right, lady. Hold on there.
This way, dear, not the back.
Johnny, I think they're coming after us.
Hey, have the car ready for a fast journey. All right, get the back door. Now, this way.
Come on, Johnny.
Get going, Kate.
All right. Are you all right? Yeah. Thank you, Johnny Melvin said you solved the murder.
Yeah. It looks where you drive.
Oh.
Now, you can take us to headquarters. We're going to exchange Benedict for Bill.
Johnny, how did Benedict kill Devon?
With dry ice, maybe?
Dry ice.
You see, the champagne buckets Melvin delivered to Duval were full of it. After Bill knocked Duval out and went into the bedroom, the dry ice evaporated into carbon dioxide, see? Duval regained consciousness, but fell asleep on the floor next to the champagne bucket where his body was found. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air, and it made a layer on the floor of suffocating gas. Duval breathed it in and died of suffocation.
Then if Bill hadn't been in the bedroom, you would have been... No wonder Melvin was so valuable. He was the only one who knew that Benedict gave him the dry ice.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I runs the bottles of sparkle to the office, knocks on the door.
Oh, no, not again.
Duchess, would you mind telling me why you didn't want to leave just now? I practically had to carry you out of it.
You certainly did. Why couldn't you have waited a few more minutes? I was ready to choke you for butting in when you did.
But why?
Oh, Johnny, I had 4 aces in my hand and 2 in my pocket.
Well, we turned Benedict over to Inspector Ross, and he very reluctantly released Bill Croft. The inspector's a man who hates to be proven wrong. Kay and Bill thanked me, and they did it so nicely I didn't have the heart to ask them for a fee. Fortunately, the Duchess still had clutched in her hand $260 of the money she'd won playing poker. Well, after giving her a lecture on the evils of gambling, I took the money and paid our bill. And that concluded the case of the Unseeing witness. The moral? Well, as the Duchess said...
2 extra aces never hurt.
And so the curtain falls on the Duke and the Duchess and the case of the Unseeing witness, which was chosen by guest expert Matt Ehrlich. Mr. Ehrlich is author of the newly published novel, The Big Eye. Next week at this time, Murder by Experts brings you a story of 2 men who pitted their wits against each other. One, a professor of psychology. The other, a big-time mobster. As selected for your approval by Brett Halliday. Until then, this is your host, John Dixon Carr, hoping you'll be with us again next week at this time.
The Unseeing Witness was written by Andrew Phillips. In the cast were Larry Haynes, Ann Shepard, Bill Zuckert, Joyce Gordon, Kermit Murdoch, Lawson Zerby, and Roger DeCoven. Music is under the direction of Emerson Buckley and was composed by Richard DuPage. Murder by Experts is produced and directed by Robert A. Arthur and David Coulson. Russ Dunbar speaking. This is the world's largest network serving more than 500 radio stations, the Mutual Broadcasting System.